I love I'm always about lines and colors. So it's really awesome. I love it. Go ahead, talk about it.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Wow. You know, my father passed away in 2005. And when he passed away suddenly. And before he passed, he left in his will a written statement. And he started that statement out with a sentence. He said, Landa Gherra Morgan. And he had my name, my first name, my middle name, and my last name underlined like 3 times. And he said, Landa Gherra Morgan, if you would just use your name, you'd be on your way to success. And that was significant for me because I hated my name as a kid.
Oh.
I thought it was too girly and feminine. Nobody could pronounce Landa. I would get called London, Laundry, London, Landis. I mean, you name it, everything but Landa, I would get called. And so I hated my name as a kid. And my dad was my biggest cheerleader. He's my biggest fan. And he would just, he would say, son, if you use your name and you can do this and you can do that. And I'm a musician and an artist as well. And so after he passed, I really started getting more of the confidence of using my name. And in 2011 is the year I actually launched Landa Gherra, the clothing line. And at that time, I was broken, and but I had this urge to start a clothing line. And I knew I always wanted a clothing line that would be representative of not just God, but of just of excellence. I believe that we as African Americans and Black people as a whole, we're people of excellence and we're people of royalty. And so the name that I use, of course, had to be my name. And as a creative, I sat down with different fonts and just kind of typed it out a million times with different fonts. And so what you see today is actually what I came up with, or God gave me back in 2011. And I printed up a couple of shirts. And at that time, I actually learned how to screen print. I mean, actually screen print. I didn't go to a company to screen print them. I was screen printing my own shirts. I was going and getting the ink, and I had the screen print machine, and you name it. I was creating the stencils in the garage and spraying them down. I mean, I was doing all of that. And I was picking out, I wanted quality in everything that I did. And so even with the t-shirts at that time, I would go, and find what were good retail level t-shirts. And once I found those, I would be in the garage sweating, screen printing my own shirts. And so in 2011, we had rolled out a shirt, and it was pretty successful. It was called, for women, it was confidence and then get you some in real big text. And then for men, it was integrity, get you some. And at the bottom, it had my name, Landa Gherra. And like I said, it was fairly successful at the time. But I think I went through a spat of depression, and I wasn't really marketing savvy at the time. So I didn't know how to push it out beyond friends and family that were supporting it. And so I put it on the shelf. I put it on the shelf for years. And it was last year, 2020, with COVID and everything going on. And it was like God had spoken to me. He said, it's time to put that back out there. It's time to put that name back out there. Now, mind you, in the span of 10 years, from 2011 to 2021, I've learned more about marketing. I've learned more about branding because of what I do with the Fusion. Mm-hmm. And I learned more about the industry, and so I thought now is the time. And when I tell people with Landa Gherra, I would look at the top names in fashion, the Calvin Kleins, the Tommy Hilfigers. We know some of them as, just one name, Gucci, Versace, of course, Ralph Lauren and Vera Wang. And I would look at these names, Steve Madden, and I would say, these are people's names that we're wearing, but we don't know their lives.
True.
We don't know that we know a persona of their lifestyle that they show us through TV or commercials or ads or whatever, but do we know their lives? Do we know what they believe? Do we know how they live? Do we know how they treat their spouses? No, but we wear their names, and we wear their names proudly. I don't know who Gucci was. I don't know who Gianni Versace really was. And so when I started looking at my name as a brand, well, I know what I represent.
Mm-hmm.
I know what I have to represent as a man, as a Black man. It has to be integrity. It has to be of excellence. It has to be of quality. And so when I was going, and right now you're seeing more of the T-shirts and apparel, and it won't stay there. That's to get the name and the brand out there and build that brand recognition is through T-shirts. That's people are walking billboards with T-shirts. But even in a T-shirt, as my wife can tell you, I spent months and I spent maybe hundreds of dollars of buying samples for T-shirts just to get the right consistency and the right fabrics, because I just didn't want any old T-shirt. I didn't want to go to the swap meet or, and buy a bunch of bulk T-shirts that were hard cotton and, would ruffle up at the neck. And I didn't want that. I wanted something that was retail quality. And so the same thing I did back in 2011 is the same thing I did even more so last year and this year, is I wanted that quality product that when somebody puts this on, you feel like you just walked into Macy's. You walked into Dillard's, which again, Macy's and Dillard's are names, right, of department stores, but those are people's names. And so Landa Gherra is important to me because, and I put a lot of me into the line. A lot of what you see with all of the products, from the website to the social media marketing to the clothing design, everything that you see, that's my hand. And my wife, who's my biggest fan and my biggest supporter, but she's also that iron that sharpens me. And I call on her to be my iron because I'm iron, and iron can only sharpen iron. And so I'm always running my ideas by her. I'm like, babe, how does this look? And vice versa. I'm always saying, well, babe, okay, you're a woman. What do you think about this? What do you think about the packaging? Even the packaging, right? I didn't just want just nice T-shirts or nice apparel, but I wanted the packaging. I'm gonna tell you what what got me with the packaging. True story. I was dating my wife at the time. This is probably about 2005 or so. Maybe 2005 or so, and it was around Christmas time. And my wife told me she wanted a Tiffany bracelet. And I didn't know what Tiffany was. I mean, I heard about it, but she's wanted this Tiffany bracelet. I said, okay, cool. I think she wanted a bracelet and a matching necklace or whatever. I was like, okay, cool. So I'll get her this. And I really didn't know how much the price was. Again, the internet was still kind of new. So I go to one of the real high-end malls here in Dallas. I think it was North Park Mall. And this is during Christmas time, so it's packed out in the mall. And I'm walking through and I'm looking for the store for Tiffany's. And I go in and I buy it and I tell the lady, hey, this is what I'm wanting, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, on and on. And people in the store like, oh, she must be a special lady, whoever's getting this, yada, yada. I was like, well, yeah, she's my girl, And so I come out of the store and I've got these Tiffany bags, these bluish green Tiffany bags in my hand. And I've still got more shopping to do in other stores. So I'm going to like Dillard's and Macy's and all these different other stores with these Tiffany bags in my hand. And Shelly, it was like the Red Sea had parted. When I walked into the store, it was like people were just like, oh my God, who was that for? And the women who were working behind the counter, they were like, oh my God, she must be just so special to be getting Tiffany. And I was like, there's something powerful about this little blue bag, that says Tiffany's on there. And so I studied that. Again, I studied the greats. I studied those who are successful. And I said, okay, what is it about this package that is synonymous with wealth, with opulence, with excellence, with quality? And that's what I wanted to instill and infuse in my products, is that when I put my name on something like Tiffany does, I want people from the time that you get it and with that packaging, you're experiencing you're experiencing quality and excellence. When you open up that box and you see that tissue paper with my name on it, well, all of that costs money, right? All of that took time to create. So I'm taking that time and I'm spending my money and going the extra mile so that you have that experience when you put that on. Not just, oh, I got a t-shirt in the mail in a bag and I'm gonna throw this shirt on. No, I want you to experience it, because I see myself. The Bible says, that your gift will make room for you, but that God said he will make your name great. Well, I do desire that, but I desire that for the right reasons. I desire that to help people, to, like you talked about earlier, we're philanthropists. So I have to build that trust, not just in my products, but in how I treat people and customer service, all those things I learned in corporate America, what to do, what not to do. And so it was just time this year. It was time to put out Landa Gherra, and I'm excited about it.
Awesome.
Yes.
It's out there now.
It's out there now.
Right,
and so,
definitely. And back to what you said with packaging, even if it's just a small item, that package speaks volumes. So that's really awesome. So guys, whether or not you do infusion, whether it's Fit Girl Fitness, whether it's Landa Gherra, you're going to be in good hands when you connect with these people here, the Morgan.
Thank you.
Right. And I take a great pleasure to just introduce them to you and see there's so much that they can do. And you can do the same thing too, guys. You are unique. You are number one. So don't minimize your beginning, okay? Don't minimize where you're from or where you're going, but just pursue whatever your dreams are and keep going. So, guys, I think I didn't ask you yet, but could you also tell them how to connect with you as well, with the clothing line?
Yes. With Landa Gherra, they can visit us online. It's spelled LandaGherra.com. Again, that's Landa Gherra. And we're on all the social media platforms. And so that's Facebook, that's TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, you name it, that we're on there. And again, the clothes are available right now. And you can order online at the website, LandaGherra.com. You can also order, if you love Instagram, if you love Facebook and you just can't pull yourself, you can order directly from your Instagram app right there on Instagram and right there on Facebook, right? So you can just visit Landa Gherra when you're on Instagram and Facebook, and you can shop directly from there. It's totally secure. And everything is streamlined, and so you're good to go. And so any support that you guys would give, we'd love to hear your feedback. And we want to give you that experience. And so, when you buy the products, we want to know how we can get better. If you see something that's not quite right, or, we could have done this better or to your liking, let us know that, right? We don't want you to berate us and diminish us. If we didn't get something right, tell us so we can correct it and make it better. That's how these companies have become the Gucci's and Versace's of the world, is by years and years of refining their product, refining their services, and becoming who they are, that we know them to be today. And so we look to do the same thing with Landa Gherra.